Hey PhoenixFeather, what's poppin'? Today we're gonna talk about face masks in Airsoft. Why would you need a face mask in Airsoft and what are the options to protect your face and teeth? We also talk about my setup and how I avoid fogging for, the most I can. Today we're gonna find out which face protection is the best for you. Let's go. First of all, we have to talk about why to wear a face mask, face protection in Airsoft. I'm always really scared about the fact that my teeth could get shot out by a BB. They fly fast and most of the time you run around like an idiot with an open mouth. Because if the adrenaline is pumping, you just run around breathing like an idiot and your teeth are exposed. It's really easy that a BB could hit it. So me personally, I use face protection to actually only protect my teeth and my mouth area. To protect the rest of my face, I'm not so super particular about because little BB bruises or scabs, they are not permanent and they're just gonna heal off and it's gonna be fine. In difference to a shot out tooth, that's gonna cost you a lot of money at the dentist to get it fixed. Good and rated eye protection is of course mandatory and we are not focusing on that today. But if you want to know what I have to say about eye protection, leave a comment down below. Especially in tight environments, face shots can hurt a lot. And if you're not wearing proper protection, you're gonna look like an ice hockey player after the playoffs, basically. So I recommend that you wear some kind of teeth protection. And I cannot understand people who are not doing this. It's literally easy and it can save you a lot of money and pain, probably, because you have to explain it to your mom how this happened. Most face masks come with a positive and with a negative feature. So in this guide, I will show you around what kind of masks I have personally worn before and what I believe are the best choices for optimal face protection. To give you an overview of what you will maybe like for your next face mask. So first of all, we have the mesh masks. I think everyone has seen this before. And the mesh mask is the most seen face and teeth protection on airsoft field. It's just a metal mesh that sits on your face through some elastic bands. It is super good, definitely in the beginning, but it also has some drawbacks. Pros, it is cheap and easily available. Like every airsoft store has this. You will see this on every airsoft field you ever go to. And the mesh will for sure protect you from incoming BBs, in the mouth area and even on the wider face area. And usually breathability is really good through the mesh as well as being able to be understood when you talk or so. Your sound is not muffled through this. You can wear this with anything on your head like a helmet, boonie, cap, anything you want. It might be even possible to directly attach it to your helmet system with some different clips that go here on the elastics. They're different ones and you can put it directly mounted onto your helmet, which definitely helps with all the strap mess an airsoft player has to struggle with. Moving on to some cons of the mesh mask. It is quite cumbersome and it can definitely get in the way looking down your sight or looking down at your gear. It can obstruct your view. And most importantly here, it can interfere with your eye protection. It can awkwardly push up the glasses if you wear them and create a gap just here in between. This can be quite dangerous and I'm gonna come back to this a little later in the video. Also that they come in one size fits all. So usually they're way too big for one's faces. So to optimize this, you have to put in a little bit of handiwork. You have to cut off some mesh here on the top or on the bottom. This is quite easy. Actually, I used a little funny tutorial back in the day from Norwich. He did this on this mask and yeah, I took off like a centimeter of mesh. You just peel this back, cut it off with some pliers and then hot glue it back. I can leave a link, but it's like super easy and it will make this a lot better and easier to wear. For me personally, that's just not the look anymore. I'm not so a super fan of this anymore. You can see it's like quite aligning with my chin area. This is a little bit better adjusted to my face, but because of all this mesh and how this is constructed, it can actually make your fogging of your glasses worse. What do I mean with that? All the sweat and the moisture of you exhausting basically, this can travel up through the mesh and enter inside of your goggle system or your glasses and create fog. To give you a little bit of a representation, you can see that my glasses are here, but there is a little bit of a gap if I wore this. And when I'm breathing, a little bit of hot air would get in between my eye and the glasses and create fog. Then next up, we have the half mesh mask. It has some padding here on the side instead of mesh like this one. You definitely have seen this before if you watched some of my videos. This little padding on the side makes it a lot easier to shoulder your rifle, look through the red dot or your scope. It makes it a lot easier to get closer with your cheek. Okay, let's put it on. You can see the alignment is just so much better. Here you can see it's all definitely a little bit too high when I wear the glasses, and it can obstruct my my goggles because it's overlapping now. And if I would like look down weirdly, it could push up my glasses, which is not ideal, but it's better with this than with this. Anyways, rifling a shoulder is way better with this because the soft cheek is like a little bit of more movable than the hard mesh, obviously, that gives. The look is very customizable because you can get this in a lot of different colors and camos. Breathability is quite good as well because the mouth and nose area is also mesh, so you can understand me talking, it's not muffled, and yeah, I can breathe normally. Then of course there's some variations of this that exist. For example, the One Tigress half mesh mask. This has some plastic in the front instead of the mesh because the mesh, it has some negative sides. I don't have the One Tigress here anymore because I already gave it away at our little summer festival we did with our team. What I don't understand with all of these variations, also for example this one, I never understand why are they so long in the front. Like, why does it overlap like so far? No one has a long face like this. Like, I never understand it because usually it's like younger player anyways in Airsoft. Like, no one has big face like that. Then there's also a different variation of this one that incorporates some ear protection as well. So it has a little mesh circle here in the back. It goes over your ears, so your ears are not exposed, especially for close quarters if you're up in the game. And I had to feel firsthand how a sniper hit to the ear can feel. I don't know if you have seen it, but yeah, basically I got shot in the ear and it got so bad after a while that I had to go to the hospital and had to get surgery. Well, it was extremely bad luck, but ever since then I try to give myself some kind of ear protection as well. This can also attach to your helmet if desired because it has the same clips, and it comes with clips that clip into your helmet on the side next onto your rail system. But what I don't like with that is it's gonna make your face look very wide, especially if you're also wearing ear protection, active ear protection or a headset. It's gonna make your face look very wide and your head like a bubble. I just don't like the look. Of course, it's a little bit easier because you have less straps and one system that is like contained by itself, but I just don't like the look so much. Definitely be aware of all the clips and straps and stuff that's gonna run there. If you have goggles with a strap, then you have these straps and then you have maybe a headset over that. It can get complicated at some point because there's so many straps interfering, and then after years basically of wearing them, with all the moisture you breathe out and BBs hitting the mesh is actually rusting. All the moisture coming out of my face and my mouth, and then an BB hit was here. And yeah, it's rusting and the paint is coming off. It just doesn't look so super pleasant anymore. But now I will show you how I would wear this under like a boonie or something. Always put on eye protection first, then put on your mouth protection. This goes really high, and then you would put on whatever you want on your head, your helmet, a boonie, or yeah, a cap, or nothing, whatever you want. This is the order I would always go for with all the different kinds of face protection I have and eye protection. I definitely think that the lowest layer should always be the eye protection, because this is the most important of the safety equipment you have. A teeth, even though it's expensive, can get rebuilt, but your eyesight cannot. So always invest in good eye protection. So now we're gonna come to a little bit of a more novelty item. And this is the B2 Tech half mesh mask balaclava, half balaclava mesh insert mask. I forgot how they titled it, but yeah, it's basically a balaclava. Back in the days, it was the first of its kind from B2 Tech. You could order it on Instagram, but sadly the guy who sewed them by hand, he vanished because he had to do something with studies, and a lot of people paid money for these, and I don't know if everyone got their money ever back. So this exact model is not available anymore, but we maybe have some more different stuff coming up in this video. What is this? This is basically a half balaclava with a mesh insert around the mouth area. And if you put it on like this, obviously I would put on the eye protection first. This goes underneath, and then I can put my cap on, my boonie on, whatever I want. It has a mesh cutout right here in the front to protect your teeth from incoming BBs. Pros of this, definitely it's super comfy to wear, and it absorbs some kind of the sweat because it's a cloth fabric, and it looks good, and you can talk quite easily through it. Like, you guys can understand me perfectly. If you don't want it to wear anymore, you can just pull it down, and it's like some kind of a scarf. And of course, like you just saw, it's compatible with all different kinds of headgear. You can wear a helmet on top, a cap, a boonie, whatever floats your boat. And of course with headset, and it's gonna be less interfering with all the straps because you have 4 straps less. And what's very positive with these balaclavas is they sit very tight on your face. It's very easy to look down onto yourself. I think everyone who played before with bigger goggles or a big mesh mask, it's sometimes hard to see your own chest, your plate carrier, maybe your magazines. You want to look something up and your view gets obstructed because the mesh sits here, and the peripheral vision is not enough that you look down and can see what you're actually doing. And with this, absolutely no problem. You can look down, you can see your entire chest. Some cons, definitely with the B2 Tech, it's a little bit hard to wear. You can see I can slide it up, but it's a little bit older and it's not so tight anymore. And if you wear a helmet and you're like basically locking this under the helmet into place, if you don't get it right completely, and if you run, this will come slide down, and then you're like in the game, like somehow trying to like hold on to the mouthpiece, and it's always a little bit of a struggle. I had this many times before. I think you've seen this in the video where I'm just like making a weird body motion to just hold this in place a little bit, that my teeth get not shot out. You definitely need a strict 1, 2, 3 system on how to put it on perfectly. For me, it was always, I put on my goggles, my glasses, then I put this on very high, and then I come in with my helmet and I go from the back. I put my helmet on from the back to the front. So everything is locked in place, and this cannot slide down because it's locked with the retention system of the helmet. And of course, on other areas of your face, you don't have mesh, you just have like a tiny little bit of fabric. So if you're looking for a little bit more protection for your cheeks or your neck, this is maybe a con because it's very, very thin. And of course, because of this design, your nose is exposed quite a lot. With especially these ones, your nose is definitely protected. If you also wear your goggles, there's maybe a tiny little gap here, but with this one, there is quite a big nose gap. So if you don't want to get shot in the nose, you could wear it like this, but this is not made for that. I can definitely tell I cannot wear this. The mouthpiece is way wrong. But here inside it's the mesh, And then from the outside, there's also a little cloth in front of the mesh. Yeah, I ran this particular mask for years, basically, on all kinds of different ops and missions and whatsoever. I used it in America, I used it here. For longer ops that don't have so much action all the time, I tend to use it like a scarf. And then when I know, okay, I get into an area, there could be some trouble coming along the road, I just pull this up. I pull this up in the back, and I can somehow, maybe even if I'm wearing my helmet, I can put my chin strap underneath here, and it holds it kind of in place, and it works as a like quick fix to protect my teeth, but not being like, yeah, if you wear a mesh mask for more than 3-4 hours, you're just like so sick of it. And yeah, this gives you a little bit more of a natural feeling. But still, if you get shot by a sniper and you're talking and you had no idea that there was anything coming at you, you may lose a tooth. Then next up to the B2 tag, we have the Valhalla Masks. And you can see they already look quite similar because this design is very, very popular. And Valhalla Mask stepped in when B2 Tag was not making anything anymore. The Valhalla Mask version is basically an update of the B2 Tag. This is made by Dave and Eve in the Netherlands. It's hand sewn and it uses a little bit of a better fabric. Like if I can feel this already, the fabric is much better. This is like some kind of, I don't know, it's a weird older kind of, this is a little bit thicker, a bit stretchier, feels definitely better than this. This feels a little cheap from the B2 Tag. And the mouthpiece is definitely worked out a little better. For example, it uses stainless steel on the inside, so it will not rust on you if you get a BB hit, not like these. Also, the material is more breathable and the padding around the mouth, where you put your mouth hole, is great. To see a comparison against the B2 Tag, this is the B2 Tag and this is the Valhalla Mask. Looks kind of different, but what I like, this is a little smaller. This fits way better to the shape of a mouth. This is a little awkward, a little too big. So they definitely did a great update on the older mask. And then the little fabric in the front, it's also there that it protects you from BB fragments. So if you get shot right here, it could happen, or it happened to me before that with this mask, I had my mouth open, I was like breathing like a crazy maniac, and I got shot here and I had my mouth filled with BB fragments because it shattered and it went all in. I was like spitting it all out. It was totally disgusting. But with this, you won't have that because there's a little bit of fabric right in front, and that is way better than the B2 Tag. The B2 Tag, yeah, you can basically see how silver it is. To this is a lot more black. The only con I have for the Valhalla Mask is the same as for the B2 Tag, is just that you're not protecting your whole face. You're only protecting like your neck, in the front, in the back, your mouth, and a little bit of your cheeks. Your nose is exposed, your upper cheeks are exposed, but I take this risk. For me, that is okay. You have to decide it for yourself. But I like the look and functionality of the Valhalla Mask way, way, way better than of any other mesh mask. I love the comfort of wearing it, and it's just a great evolution from the B2 Tag. This was my go-to mask for all of my last videos. I think you have seen this. I use this in every gameplay. And then now we have a new player on the field. We have a new thing in the game, and it's Cygnus Armory with their new half mesh balaclava mask, face protection, teeth protection. These masks are handmade in Germany. This is where we get the connection. Cygnus Armory does all different kinds of face masks and balaclavas. So we have the half balaclava like the Valhalla Mask or the B2 Tag, but we also have, which is super interesting, a full balaclava, which also goes over the top of your head, over your hair, and it protects you in the front as well. And they have also different kinds of scarves, normal balaclavas, and so on and so on. They have a lot more variety in color and camo. For example, this is a multicam black one in the half balaclava style. Then they also have a M81 woodland, for example, but they have a lot more on their website, which is kind of cool to see because usually it was like black or sand, maybe green, but that was basically it. But here they have a lot of different camos to blend in better maybe with your loadout. And especially for the full balaclava that goes over your head, I know a lot of people who actually wear this as some kind of like sweat distributor, that you have maybe a little bit more protection because your ears are under it, all the little gaps are closed over your head. If you're sweating a lot, it can actually help you to distribute this sweat a little bit more down and off of your face, so it's not so wet all the time. For example, Storm Airsoft, he was always playing in a balaclava. Here you guys can see how this looks like. This is now the full balaclava. It goes all the way down here into my neck. I can wear it with a boonie, I can wear it with a helmet, I can wear it with a cat on my head. It doesn't really matter. And then what's super interesting is that they use two kind of materials for their masks. This one, the half balaclava, it has a super thin mesh. You can totally see me through the actual face protection because the fabric is so open and so light, which is super great for airflow and sweat distribution. And it's also quick drying. And then in comparison, this is the super tiny mesh. And then the balaclava has more of like a typical, it's also very like thin. I can see the camera through it, but I don't know if you can see me now. But yeah, this feels like your normal like sports outfit. It's a little bit elastic. It feels very breathable, but this feels so light. This is very, very breathable. You're not wearing a lot with this one, which I personally like a lot. And then the design, like the Valhalla Mask, has the exposed nose, which effectively inhibits the fogging of your glasses because it's sitting very tight to your face and it doesn't allow much hot heat to travel up and into your goggles or into your glasses, as well as that the gap here is big enough that it won't interfere with my goggles or with my glasses when I go and I want to aim down in the sight. This is not like pushing up. This is not even touching my glasses right now. If I just wiggle around here, like now a little bit, but this is basically more my cheek. Very different story with the mesh mask that could totally just like push up your goggles like this and create here a big gap right underneath my eye, which could be dangerous. What I like maybe the most is that they added here in the back a little elastic strap with a thing where you can tighten down the exact perfect like strongness of how you want to have it, the perfect tension, because I had the problem with the B2 Tech that it was like just, it got loose over time. It's like not even you see the bungee is like almost extended all the way. And with that, you can even like slide it up and then tension it. And it's not gonna slide down after a while because you're not having it in a perfect position or it's not like trapped underneath a helmet or underneath your boonie. This makes it a lot easier. And don't be scared with the little knobby. I already tried it out. You don't feel it under your helmet or under your boonie. After all these mesh and masks and here and there and teeth protection, we also have the full face paintball masks. And they do have their right in Airsoft. They have their right to exist. Some maybe not like the look that much, but they can be extremely efficient for a very specific scenario. The biggest pro of all, they protect your entire face. They protect your teeth, they protect your nose, they protect your cheeks, they protect your ears. And because it's an all-in-one system with the goggles, you will have the least amount of fogging there is, period. There's no better system than a paintball mask. They're just engineered to be like this. They have crazy thermal glasses in there. I wore them before quite a lot and I never had a single bit of fogging, where even with my setup I sometimes get fogging, but with the paintball mask never had a problem there ever before. And then the con obviously is, I would say, the look. Maybe if you're going out to like a milsim event, it's not maybe the thing you want to, maybe it doesn't really fit in there. So this is why I'm making the guide. Maybe you can find something different that gives you protection as well, but also gives you the cool looks. Looking through your optic is definitely different than with a half balaclava, and talking to someone else or shouting to someone else, the sound is definitely muffled a lot and you have to talk and shout a lot louder. Long talking, quick to the point. If you play indoor CQB a lot, this is the way you want to go. In close environments, they also give you the most protection for your entire face, for your eyes, for your cheeks, for your teeth, for your ears. And I can totally understand it that, for example, at the Heldenhalle, they make it mandatory now that you have to wear a full face mask to play there. If you don't know, it's a Speedsoft arena basically and a different, very CQB oriented field, and they just don't trust the people that show up with their safety glasses and their weird mesh masks. And I can totally understand that, because think about it, you have the normal glasses on, then you have your mesh mask, you're sitting behind a small cover, you're like crunching down, maybe something is not in the right place, and I come around, there's no minimum engagement distance, and I come around with the triple shot HPA shotgun and I blast you in the face. And one thing, just because, you know, the universe was not aligned, one BB gets through and that was it. No one wants that, and this is why I can totally understand that they make full face masks mandatory. It's safety first, overall, even over looks, guys. Talking about Speed QB, I don't even think we have to talk about that because nothing else makes sense. Then I want to give a quick mention of different kinds of styles I saw people protecting their teeth or their face that I never used or made, but I have seen on the field with friends or other people wearing them. I just want to give you a little overview. First of all is the bulletproof visor, maybe from the GSG9 or KSK, you've seen it, the German Special Forces and Special Police Force. They use these face shields, and I also saw a guy on the game field here and he's using a lawn mower face shield. And underneath he's wearing goggles, but it's basically a big visor mesh for gardening. It works too. Then of course we have the boxing mouth guards. You see them a lot sometimes. For example, Joseph from Norwich, he's using it. It definitely works, but for me there's two downsides for this. A, no one can really understand you if you're having this thing in and you're trying to talk. And B, it only protects your upper area of your teeth. If you are having your mouth open, it does not protect your lower row of teeth. You're going somewhere, you have your mouth open. My lower row of teeth is way more exposed than my top. So if I have my mouth open because I'm breathing too hard, I'm super hard, adrenaline, you know, CQB, super crazy right now. I'm like, right here. This happened before, saw it on videos on YouTube. They just get shot out super easy. Then what also people do, for example, Basti, my team leader, he uses a normal balaclava, which is something like this. And he just has a little cutout of mesh and he just slides that into the position right in front of his mouth with some duct tape. And you know, it works, it works. Then I have seen a lot of people who actually attach a tiny little bit of cutout of mesh from this. They attach it to the chin strap of their helmet. So it's basically, when they have their helmet strapped down, they have it floating in front of their mouth and they have no moving parts. This is just, you have to obviously wear your helmet all the time to have your teeth protected as well. And then we have a little bit of a honorable mention from TMC. Because if you guys maybe remember way back in the days, this is how I started out. I had the Vulcan Sierra goggles. I bought a super cheap JT paintball mask off of eBay and I fused these both because I like the look. The functionality was not really good, but I think that TMC saw my pictures and they used them as their example for their product. Which is super funny, but yeah, what the hell was going on? You guys could have maybe sent me at least one. Then my preferred method that I use on every game day I go to recently is I have my balaclava style face mask. So first of all, I have my Oakley M-Frames 3.0 with the vented glasses on top. Then I use a half balaclava style mask. You have to decide for yourself if you like the Valhalla Mask more or the Cygnus Armory. And then I have my boonie, which is also by Cygnus Armory, and I love it. And this combo gives me already a good match because it reduces the hot air that is going into my glasses. Like I'm breathing out here, I have my glasses here, I don't have a helmet that is like pushing right on top of here. There's some air circulation here. Obviously the vented glasses help a lot, but my secret to super good anti-fogging is the anti-fog from Oakley. It's this tiny little bottle. It is super expensive, but it works wonders on any kind of eye protection. You put a drop in on the outside on one side, on the other side, you smear it with your fingers, and once you smeared it everywhere, you take a microfiber cloth and you rub it off. That's it. And then you're set for more than half of a game day of no fogging. You may see some stuff come up, but it's like streaks and they go down. It's not like that you have fog, you cannot see anything anymore. You're still able to see, and this is absolutely amazing stuff, but very expensive. I think this tiny little bottle costs 16 euros. And then a little pro tip also, never use wet glasses cleaner you can get in the grocery store or in the drugstore. They can damage some coating that your glasses may have, so never use these. They're really bad. And then recently I have running a boonie all the time because I just like it a little more. It's a lot lighter, it gives me a better airflow. I feel that I can move quicker. The heavy helmet was just too cumbersome recently. I just like the light setup a little better. I'm just too lazy to wear a helmet. If you want to wear a headset, you can still do that underneath here. And I love it that you can clip it up like a little cowboy on the side, because I'm definitely in love with Op4 and basically look like a trash dually. Just look like an idiot on the field, and it's so much more satisfying if you get like a big group of like super tactical dudes, special forces, Navy SEAL guys, and you just look like a normal guy that, you know, looks a little bit like trash, and it makes it so much more saltier, and I find that absolutely hilarious. Especially at Mission 24, I freaking love it. Well, I hope I could help you with a little bit of an overview of some kind of different face protections that they are, and give you some cons and pros for all of them. And yeah, give you my take on what I think works best for me. Maybe you can get something out of this experience. I hope so, actually. And it's basically up to you and what you are actually playing. If you're out in the woods, you play long distances, you play long ops, a balaclava style will be the best option to protect your teeth in hairy situations. Also, the look is more Milsim-like if you're into that, especially with the different camo options. If you're interested in the Cygnus Armory face mask or the Valhalla face mask, there's a link down in the description. And if you decide for a Cygnus Armory right now, I have a discount code for you. It will give you 10% off your purchase if you put in Phoenix10 at the end of the checkout. And yeah, you will save 10% of your next order. Maybe you put yourself together with a couple buddies, get a couple, and yeah, you guys gonna save 10%. I hope that helps, because I freaking love these, especially these really light, thin ones, because I sweat so hard on the field every single freaking damn time. And if you're a more careful person or you play a lot indoors, I highly recommend to get yourself a full face mask. It will give you the best protection and the best anti-fog capabilities. Here you maybe sacrifice some of the looks. It's always a matter of taste. They can look super good, especially for super CQB style. I would never go anymore. If I know I'm gonna go play indoors in the Netherlands or so in a super CQB oriented field, I'm not bringing this, I'm bringing a full face mask. If you have any more question or you have a style of face or teeth protection I didn't mention, please leave it in the comment down below. Other than that, go out and play, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And I'm gonna be here. Go now watch another video. How about a gameplay? Mission 24 Season 2 is gonna come out eventually. You guys, you're in for a treat. Other than that, thank you so much to Cygnus Armory to sending me some of the stuff. If you're interested, check them out on Instagram. Or if you like it, order yourself one and get 10% off with Phoenix 10. Thanks, guys.